Thank you, Cosmic. I pressed the wrong button. Hey, folks. Can you hear me now? Welcome to the LEGO Let's Chat. This is something we do every Friday. And this is, of course, the LEGO Motorized Lighthouse. Set number 21355. You can do bang set in chat to get a link to the LEGO website. And what I was saying before I unmuted myself, pro streamer, was we finished the second and third bag last week, and that lifted up the platform quite a bit. We ended up putting in these big ugly rock pieces, not because I think they're ugly, but that's what they're called in the LEGO spheres, from what I can tell. We finished all of the surrounding water, lapping waves, kind of rocky shores. I really like the angle on this stone wharf and how they accomplished that with some little hinge pieces inside. We do have the motor here, which is actually on a suspension. It's on a rubber suspension, which is very cool. We also have the battery pack, the power pack here. Cords are not connected to anything yet. They're just kind of tucked in out of the way. And I think that's really it. Oh, right, the cave. There's also like a little bat with a cave and a treasure chest down here that you might be able to see. I don't know how this is going to go moving forward. As we build this thing taller, it's going to be very difficult to showcase it on stream. So I will be posting lots of pictures as we progress on Instagram. So if you're not following me on Instagram already, please do so. That's at Joel Duggan on Instagram. Very easy to find. I'm Joel Duggan on social media across the board. Jack Kelly, welcome in. Thanks for saying hi. Sorry for the weird start, folks. I pressed the wrong button when I went over to my my stream deck. Send us to the be right back screen. So first things first. I think we have to move this out of the way. I don't think we're going to be able to have like a super clean interface here. As this thing continues to grow, having this large plate in the way is going to be challenging. I do want to try and make sure we have a lot of room, though. I changed the angle of the camera a little bit, so you folks are probably looking a little bit more this way towards me. It means that there's more table space on camera. And it's very dark in here today. I have all the lights on, but the weather outside is very gray. So I don't have quite as much natural light. It's fine. You were just testing us with the stream opening. Yeah, that's right. Mods have been tested. We have found them worthy. You may carry on. Voldare with 100 bits. Just put the comment about the Citadel. It looks great. So I did a little bit of tweaking. I switched to manual focus and I put one of the little stickers on the table and got that in focus as best I could. I mean, I doubt you're going to be able to read the really tiny print, but the LEDA should be there. And that should be in focus. Try to get all the same color together. Seems like there's a lot of this medium gray. The gold ring? Several, actually. Seems like there's a lot of treasure at this lighthouse. Yeah, I still haven't figured out exactly what I need to do for the stream quality for the Lego Let's Chats. To be fair, I have not had time this week to do the research, so I haven't even looked into it yet. We will get there. I have been playing Palia, a new... I guess they're billing it as an MMO, but really it's like Stardew Valley meets an MMO. I'd say would be the best description that I've seen. That seems the most accurate. Even though I've never played Stardew Valley, I have seen some streamers play Stardew Valley. Johnny, my co-host on the Spawn Chunks, plays Stardew Valley. And was very good at explaining it, so when I watched him, I kind of felt like I got a good handle on it. And I would say that Palia is a good mix. We're actually going to be playing Palia later today, so normally when I finish my Lego Let's Chats, I mess off early on my Friday and I go to the gym. However, I walk to the gym and it's currently raining, so seeing as I was just at the gym yesterday and it was a late workout, I didn't get home until almost 8. So I will probably go to the gym tomorrow and relax and play some Palia after Lego today. So if you're looking for more than just Lego today, hang out, stick around, share the stream, tell some friends. We're gonna wait that. You have a little bit more space at the top of the frame, so I can't estimate the imperial, so rough guess is an inch. Yeah, I leave space at the top of the frame because I've got the Twitch leaderboard up there, and it shows up a little bit better when I don't have stuff underneath it. It's also my reach without going too far forward. This is about where I would want the farthest to go. It's really about here. Like, even if I get down to here, I still have about 4 more inches of table here that you can't see. But if I brought the camera down too far, then you'd end up seeing the top of my head. So I think one of the solutions is going to be moving the camera either higher or onto something different and then adjusting it that way. I have a shelf that's actually about the same height as the camera, but that would mean lowering the camera and defeat the purpose of buying this rig that I have. So I don't know. I haven't figured it out. Like I said last week, I'm more than likely not going to mess with this too much. I will absolutely spend more time on a Lego setup when I have a permanent place that I can, like, I mean, I can put stuff on the walls now, but I have to uninstall when I move. So. And that's a potential move. I'm not moving. I'm looking to move. I'm looking to buy a house, but in the market in Canada right now, that is not super possible. Without getting on too much of a rant, it's actually been very frustrating because as an independent creator, I've been an artist for my entire life. I've had some contract jobs, some places where I've worked in studio. I've had a part-time job for a little bit where I've met some great friends, but ultimately I've been my own boss for years. And to finally be in a position where I can afford a home, have a down payment saved, for something modest, nothing crazy. And then to be essentially kept out of the market because of interest rates, because of stock availability, and because of overpricing, and people that are landlords in the province that are causing a huge problem with price inflation on housing. It's so frustrating. Like, had I been in this financial position 5 years ago, like pre-COVID, I probably would be in a house right now. It's and to be fair, and to end on a positive, I ended up in this position really quickly after I finished paying off my debt, and like student loans, a little bit of visa debt, that kind of stuff. And once I started having some real money coming in, I really focused on debt, which was, general knowledge, you tend to see that as financial advice, but I really doubled down. I really focused on getting the debt paid off. And after that happened, I ended up being able to save up for down payment so much faster. So for anybody out there, if you're new to the workforce, if you're just getting out of school, just focus the crap out of your debt and try not to be in debt at all if you can. I know it's tough, but like, if at all possible, just put as much as you can on it because it really, really helps. It's really muggy here today. Yeah, Blast Jordan, I was actually quite surprised at how quickly things turned around. The biggest thing was the student loan, and then after that, it was some credit card stuff. And I wasn't like, irresponsibly in debt with credit cards, but just like everybody else, I had them. I still have credit cards. I don't use them for things that I don't already have the cash for. I use credit cards when the payment options are not cash. Some sites like Netflix now, which is really annoying, no longer accepts PayPal if you're in Canada, which I think is stupid, but here we are. And it used to, but then I canceled my Netflix account just to kind of have a break in the summertime. And when I restarted it to watch The Witcher, it wouldn't let me pay with PayPal. I feel like I have these straight. And I was talking with Tadpole Milk on the Citadel Cafe podcast on Wednesday night. That's not yet been published, but it's been recorded. And we were discussing The Witcher Season 3, and we were into not spoiler territory, but we certainly talking spoilers about the first 2 seasons, but we were only talking about the first 2 or 3 episodes of Season 3, and how lost I am. As cool as that show is in terms of moments, it is hot garbage at telling you a story. Things are happening with absolutely no explanation. There's muffled dialogue. Netflix is really crapping the bed. It's funny, you know, I was in that rant. I do remember cursing a few times on the Citadel Cafe because we can on that show. And as I was talking about The Witcher just now, I had to catch myself and make sure I didn't say what I really mean when it comes to the crappy storytelling. It's too bad too, because I feel like the acting in season 3 of The Witcher has gotten better. Freya Allen, who plays Ciri, and Henry Cavill, who plays Geralt. Oh, my phone is now talking to me. Yeah, so Henry Cavill, who plays Geralt, delivering a really, really good performance between the two of them. Their relationship is really interesting in the show too. And Cavill's a beast in this show. Like there's been 3 key sword fight battles in the first 2.5 episodes. No, 3. I think I finished the 3rd now. And he is absolutely bringing the action. Like, it's entertaining to watch in that way, and probably more so if you're a fan of the games, but I am lost when it comes to the story. I saw a photograph on Twitter. No, I think it was Facebook. Not that I spend a lot of time on Facebook, mostly to look at dogs. But I saw it was an overhead photo of the floor of a firehouse, and what they had done, there was a fire truck along the bottom, and then all of the contents of the fire truck were organized like this. They had knolled out all of like the hoses and the ladders and everything, all the gear, and at the bottom, just like minifigs, were the firefighters and their firemen's helmets, and there was like 6 of them all along the bottom, and it was like the caption was like the entire contents of a fire truck. It was really, really cool. The Canadian friends all hate the change. Yeah, like so one of the things about, you know, when I was talking about debt earlier, like, I mean, sure, when you've got something small like a $20 Netflix bill, like, it's very easy to see that show up in your credit card, pay that when the credit card is due, and you're fine. But I really liked the idea, like, once you get your credit card balance down to 0, you become very focused on keeping it there. Like, I even winced. I bought new sneakers, and I had to put them on my credit card because New Balance online doesn't accept cash. So I bought the sneakers, and they were the wrong size, or they didn't fit. I purchased a size that should have fit, but it did not, and so I had to return them. And so rather than just paying off the balance on the credit card, I had to wait until the return processed. And so I had to leave like $220 because I have big feet and shoes are expensive. I had to leave like $220 on the credit card for like 3 weeks, and it was bugging me. I was legitimately irked. I was like, okay, I need to pay this off. It's back to zero now because the return went through. I bought new shoes, they get delivered, and then I just paid off the difference and got everything back to normal. But it was just like, I was really not happy with having to hold the balance on the card. Gonna have to move plate. Yep. Where can we move that? You still get DVDs, Obu, from Netflix? I didn't think they still did that. I'm looking forward to watching Dungeons and Dragons Honor Among Thieves. That's on Netflix in Canada now. Oh, I've got an extra piece. That's annoying. So I'm hoping to leave as much space as I can here for building. Which means this is going to be a bit of a reach. But the Netflix DVD mail service stops at the end of September. Oh, boo. I'm surprised it didn't stop at the end of 2019. Wow. They've always had a much broader selection of movies on DVD than you can find streaming, especially older films. Oh, boo, remind me where you are in the world? Because I imagine copyright probably has a lot to do with that. The thing that bugs me is how much is on Netflix in the US versus Canada. Like, the library is massive compared to Canada and the US. Got a weird air bubble in my vinyl covering. I'm not sure how that happened. The tabletop is black, and I would normally just go ahead with it, but it's a shiny black. It's reflective, and you get a real hot spot off of the lights. I mean, you already get a pretty decent hotspot off of these lights now, but quite noticeable. And probably use these. Some of these pieces end up being really hard to lay out. Never had a balance on my credit card like that, only like a held deposit, but then those aren't meant to be paid, not technically charged. Yeah. I think what happened with me is I was early in my 30s when I was first getting some business stuff off the go, specifically podcasting. I was traveling, and it's very easy to justify the opportunity to travel, network outside of your means when you're putting airline tickets on credit cards. And airline tickets in Canada suck. So I ended up with a few of those that just didn't get paid off in the same... They didn't get paid off in the amount of time that I had originally planned. And I think that that's just... That's one of those situations about being younger and, you know, saying to yourself, I will figure out how to pay it off later. But then that just becomes a problem rather than having a solid plan, figuring out if you can afford it in the first place. And that was the mistake that was made. Also a little keeping up with the Joneses. Trying to stay on top of things. I put these. It's a weird layout, but I'll take it. All right. Bag 4. Ready to go. You're in Oregon. I don't know why I thought you were overseas somewhere. But yeah, I don't think Netflix has ever had a DVD service in Canada. I think it's always been just streaming. Bag number 4. So we need to rotate this around. Now, is that mostly in frame? I'd say yes. I'm going to have to make peace with the fact that it's just not going to be frame all the time. And here is, I think, one of the biggest shortcomings of this particular set. They don't highlight the pieces on the model where you're putting them. It's very tricky. Let me grab this little guy. That's everything. So it's obviously going to go along here. Got this little green piece to start. There. Corner bit. I like these little overhangs that they make. It's very cool. One small corner is cut off. Yeah, I'm okay with that. I know it's just not going to always fit. And I'm going to have to move it off just to have some room. Ah, mechanical bits. Get a couple of these. That goes down the middle like that. And we have another one of these red clamps. Clamps? I'm not sure what you want to call them. These fasteners. Then we've got the gear, really tiny little gear. Oh, I missed the ring. So the gold ring is actually part of the mechanism? Weird. When I first saw it, I thought it was going to be part of like a treasure chest or something. Like decor. And we take these two blue pins. And they go in this guy. That spins vertically like that. And that is going to go across there. And the gear has got to line up with the screw part down there. Where's that? There it is there. Lines up with this piece there. Right, so that doesn't move because the motor, once powered, this thing will twist and then this will rotate around like that. Neat. Charming Charles, it's something you have to pay attention to. Right, so that's the switch, right? It's in the cave. You can see the switch moving down there on the power pack. And what that does is turn on the motor. The motor rotates that, and then this rotates. But we don't have batteries. And these should light up, apparently. But like I said, I don't have the batteries to do it. Okay, yeah, so they are little LEDs. Okay. That's attached. That stays in there. Got these 3, 1, 2, 3, 4 black pieces. They go right along there. Do they attach to that? No. I've never done a Lego building in terms of like modern Lego sets. I've always done vehicles or some sort of like decorative shelf piece. I've never done like an actual building. It's interesting to see how they put these together. Whoops. I actually, I made the mistake yesterday. I was at the dollar store next to the gym because I've lost my lock. I had a really nice padlock that I used to bring to the gym with me to lock my gear in the locker, and it's gone missing. I don't know what I did with it. I don't know whether it fell out of my bag. Anyway, couldn't find it. Not a big deal. $3 at the dollar store got me a lock that'll be good enough. The thing that I liked so much about the lock that I had was that it was a lock that you could not lock without the key. You needed to put the key in it in order to lock it. So you couldn't lock your stuff accidentally. But this new one, it locks without the key. So I just had to be careful. But I was like, my point was, I was at the dollar store and I completely intended to buy a half dozen batteries because this takes 3 AA batteries. And I wasn't going to put in fancy, I've got rechargeable batteries, but I use those for my Xbox controller and stuff. So like, I'm not going to put those in there. So I'm going to just buy some cheap batteries from the dollar store and I'll use those. All right, where do these go? Oh, okay, so it goes here. Word Nerdify. Hello, hello. Big one. 2 of these. One, and 2. This covers this up like that. This goes the full length. And then this covers up the beige piece with like some mossy looking bricks. They look way more green in the book. Cool that the moss is also going to kind of overhang here too. It's neat. It's a nice touch. It's weird that they didn't make the plants similar colors. Feels like a weird mix. And then we've got a little bit of rock detail. Goes here. And the white bit goes way down there. Oh yeah, Meadow. We're averaging, I'd say, 1 to 2 bags a week. It's a much slower build than others, just because of how much more difficult the instructions are to follow, and because of how complicated it is. I feel like I have to concentrate a lot more, so I feel like I'm going a lot slower. So that's interesting. You build that, and this is actually going to go vertical in this space right here. I like that. Show you what that looks like. See it right there? And then we've got the anchor. That goes through like that, and then this goes through this, and then that attaches. Oh, I see, there's a little attachment there. This clips on here. I guess just leans. Interesting. Oh, I see. If you push it out the way that I would, yeah, okay. You can kind of make it look like it's on an angle. That's cool. Yeah. Neat. Cosmic Dancer set up a monthly tip, or has at least notified me that the monthly tip is continuing. Happy monthly Streamlabs donation day. Ticks another job off the to-do list, right? Thanks so much, Cosmic. I really appreciate it. And thanks for being awesome. Bye-bye, Twitch person that feels the need to be an absolute knuckle. I'll let y'all fill in the blanks. Looks like more cliff work. And I rotate this again. No, we're looking at the side here. So continuing on from the side there, we've got one of these. Brown piece goes in behind. Got green. I'm not sure why they use all these different green pieces, because you end up covering them up a lot of the time. Another one of those. Helps if it's not upside down. This goes around like that. Goes in behind. And this attaches here. I feel like I've missed something. But I think it's just the perspective. I think it's just the perspective. Yeah. That. Didn't feel like waiting to find out the answer to that one. I like how the mod radar is just on high alert on stuff like that. And you know, I'm surprised that more, because we see the same thing all the time. Twitch trolls come in, they try the same stuff, they get banned, and it's just like, do you just try the same thing over and over and over again and just try to find a streamer that either doesn't have a mod or the mod just aren't savvy enough to figure out what's going on? Like, I've not seen any adaptation or advancement in troll behavior. It's just, it's the same stuff, different day, you know? There we go. Making sure I've got that wire going out the right way. I'm guessing, I'm not sure where the tower goes. I'm not going to look at the box. I mean, this is gonna, I'm assuming the tower is going to be over here because this is where the rotation happens, right? I'm confused as to what this is going to be, though. In a good way. Like, it's kind of nice not knowing. I'm wondering if this is how they're going to rotate the house in a very specific angle, is using this little piece here. So this goes up against this, that. And then we continue. This piece is really not staying on very well. And we continue down the side, it looks like, with this piece. Long piece. Main piece there. All right. That's next. I feel like today's going fairly quickly. I think a lot of the pieces are fairly big too, which helps. That goes here. And we've got 2 of these. And that goes on the corner. These get snapped together. That might be off camera. Darn it. There's something with the studs on this corner. They're just not that sturdy. Oh, now we've got some big old platforms going in. 2 these and 1 of those. Little spacer here. Full gray piece covering up the power pack. There's something really satisfying. There's 2 kinds of clicks in Lego. There's the little click of 2 pieces going together, and then there's the big hollow click of putting down a plate over an empty area, and it kind of has this cool clack to it. Got a very nice, satisfying sort of resonance to it. Yeah, when I look up at my small monitor, which is just the 2-inch display on the back of the camera, my camera rig is actually in the way. I can't see the bottom of the camera. I know that the book is kind of off, but I'd rather you see the top half of the book than me having to push the book way up into the space. That's a weird way to display that piece. So this piece, did I skip a step? Yeah. Oh, pages much is stuck together. Yeah, I totally skipped a step. So now we are putting stuff on this side. Like that. Then I need these little bits. Really efficient use of these little gray corner pieces. I quite like what they're doing with it. And this continues down this way. So we're kind of going around the top, it looks like, and putting the final touches on the cliffs, the rocky cliffs that everything is going to be built on top of. This, of course, being one of the stairs coming up, right? Now we can do the step. This piece goes vertically here. I really like how they've got these cliffs designed with these vertical ramp pieces. Very clever. And then these two pieces connect. Oh, wrong one. Let's see if I. Oh, don't know what happened there. It's very hard to pick up without things falling off of it now. But you can see the different vertical ramps that they're using for the cliffs. Very cool. I'll be taking some better photos for Instagram later. Oh, there's two of these. I need to put another one down. Where's the other one go? Over on this one. Break time when you're ready, says Cosmic. Thank you very much. Yes. I think we'll just leave it right there. So for folks that are new to the channel, I take a break once an hour. Just gives me a chance to reheat my coffee. Maybe grab a snack. You should too. Maybe even tell a friend that we're live. We are always trying to grow the channel. And I will be back in about 5 or 6 minutes as I start knocking things off. I feel like that's going to happen a lot. Be right back. All right, the rest of this bag should not take too long, I don't think. We've got a couple of these pieces. It's gonna keep that coming out that little hole. It's feeling very sturdy at this point. Put a lot of pressure on it. Thank you, Cosmic. Yeah, these are just straight up a different color in this book. This goes here, that goes there. Oh, I need two of these. Feel like we're doing a little bit of the grass on top of everything, you know? I recently built one of the Lego City skylines. The books are printed on black pages, and sometimes telling what color the pieces are is very difficult. We had a difficult time with the black instructions on the Lego Ecto 1 as well. City skylines. What set did you do, Word Notify? I've not heard of that. Oh, is that like the architecture one? Where it's like, you know, the Falling Water by Frank Lloyd Wright, or like a Japanese garden, or like those kind of things. They're like micro scale. Rooster Mug, what's up? This goes over top of the plant thing. That. This covers up the hole. Now we've got some moss growing over top of the cave. Cool. The last couple of bags, I've really felt like the progress has been solid. You know, like bag 3 and bag 4, I really feel like we're making progress with the build. I don't know why they use these little round brown pieces, because they completely get covered up. It feels like that would be an expensive piece, to use, you know? The approach here feels very similar to what we did with all of the rapids and stuff around the, you know, the lapping waves. It's kind of going around the edge, but it's around the top instead. This piece connects here. It's supposed to. There's the click. I do like how, you know, putting in these big plate pieces ends up like locking everything into a very specific place, you know? And again, I know I've mentioned this before, but the Minecrafter in me is like, you're covering over holes. There's no torches down there. What are you doing? Danger. So this lines up with that directly. And then we've got, this should line up there. That, and this should line up there like that. Done 3 of those, 1 of those, 2 of those. I need these 2 little guys. They go here. And here it looks like. And then this gray piece goes right here. Lego San Francisco skyline. Very cool. Golden Gate Bridge, Salesforce building, and Painted Ladies Coit Tower. Well, right on. That must be a lot of small pieces. I've seen some really cool wall displays word Nerdify, like the kind of thing that might be on display in like an architect's office, where they've built those skylines and then they've got them all on like an IKEA shelf or something, and they're kind of like staggered and spread along the wall in a really cool kind of art piece display. It's a great way to display them. That, or maybe like a case that has LEDs in it or something. Two, one of these, one of these, and one of these little guys. Now we're around the back. This long piece goes in here. Very specific stuff happening in this corner. This is obviously the tower, I'm guessing. And this piece goes here. They really keep the detail flowing, don't they? And this piece goes along the back. Oh, this is the piece that keeps on falling off. This out of the way. I get to do our own little special piece, it looks like. And then we got corner pieces. We still have quite a few pieces left. Oh, let's go farther. Oh, that's an interesting way to build that up. Have the corner piece go out sideways like that. That's neat. Great big long piece across the top there. Whoops. Hello, welcome in. Good to see you. Hope things are going well. Got that part. Now we've got this little connection here. So here's a really good view because I can hold a small piece. I really like when they do this. They take these corner pieces and they put them over a gap, and it really makes it look like a cliff. I think that's my Minecraft eyeball going like, I know how to do that. I think that's everything so far. Goes like that. Oh no, fire. That. And cliff piece on top of it. Man, this thing just keeps on getting bigger. Cool. And then looks like this is probably the top. This goes up like this. Oh, this covers up the this covers up the battery pack. I was wondering if they were just going to leave that uncovered or whether they're going to just kind of say that's the back of the build and you're just not going to see it. That's cool. So I'll try to tilt this up so people can see. There's the exposed battery pack as I knock more pieces off. I'm not even sure where that came from. That's annoying. Assuming it was from along here somewhere. Yeah, right here. Yeah, this whole end of the plate, just pieces just keep on falling off this whole section right there. Anyway, so you saw the battery pack right there. And then this piece, there is a single connector there. And then looks like a space right there. It's meant to cover it up, but it's also meant to, I think, come off easy. Yeah, that's cool. I really like that. So it only connects with that one piece. So it's very easy to get access to your batteries. Smart. Really, really clever. Oh wow, we have all this left over? Really? Okay. Well, that's the end of bag 4. Bag 5 is not very big. So I think we will take care of that as well. 165. Oh yeah, this is a small bag. The only thing that doesn't make sense from the spare parts is the axle. They're usually accurate on those. However, onwards to bagception. Also, hello, Wisconsin. Yeah, I know what you mean. I get a little, when it's more than just 3 pieces or 4 pieces, I get a little bit concerned, but I didn't see anything. The only place that axle could have been was the anchor. I didn't see. We can take a quick look through the instructions, but I don't think I saw any place where we needed 2 of them. I'm wondering, I find sometimes they give you doubles of pieces that are easy to lose / roll off tables easily. So that could be it too. There's an axe. I've never seen that in LEGO before. I guess if you had a fire hall in a city, you'd probably know that those exist. I think the axe was originally created for one of the collectible minifigures, and then they just made it into wider use. Oh yeah? I've never been at all concerned with collecting minifigs. I know it's a thing, but I've never been a collector. Like I had some comics and stuff when I was younger, and you know, I never got into anything like baseball cards. I mean, a little bit when I was younger, but like once you're old enough to realize that it's just a money sink, there was nothing that I ever really collected, you know? I bought a lot of DVDs and Blu-rays, but like that was more about being able to watch my favorite stuff rather than like generating a collection of any kind. That's pretty straight. Now we have all kinds of white corner pieces. Lo, I'm sorry. Thanks very much for the reminder. Appreciate that. Cosmic gifting a tier 1 gift sub to Low88. Cosmic, I'm sorry I missed that. I don't know why. I must have been concentrating on something. Very much appreciated. And of course, happy to have Low continuing on as a member of the community. Folks, if you didn't know, using a tier 1 sub on Twitch or by going to patreon.com/JoelDuggan, you can join the Discord. Patreon being the most economical, but if you want to use the emotes in the channel, then Twitch is the way to do that. I need to move some things. Sorry if I bumped the mic. Keeps everything lined up. And I can feel the cool breeze trying to come in my studio through the window. It's nice this afternoon. Just that little bit of rain falling outside in the trees. But man, it's muggy. The Masurk, good to see you. Good to see you. Meadow says, I used to collect languages, as in ones I've attempted to learn. Had to reach my 30s and get too busy with other stuff before giving in on the fact that my brain is structured for math, not languages. I would love to learn another language. I want to take some vacations in some other countries, and I feel like one of the things I'd like to do ahead of that is learn at least the basics. You know, so that you can make an honest effort when you're visiting, you know? You know, maybe we'll just continue on. Curious what we're going to do with this bag. There seems to be a lot of very similar shaped pieces, a lot of similar style of, like, similar setups in the different colors. right, maybe we'll grab these pieces. With a complicated set like this, I kind of prefer smaller bags like this. Oh, this ladder's probably bigger. All right, maybe these next. It's funny, I set out kind of a little bit of a challenge for myself when I do this to try to have everything look kind of really well organized and laid out. But at the same time, like, I'm not going back and redoing anything. So you kind of have to accept the decisions that you've made and try to move forward if you don't like them. I find I sometimes do that with Minecraft, unless I'm really upset with or dissatisfied with how a build looks in Minecraft, that I find that I will try to move on because I just don't want to take the time to redo it, because I find something I've always disliked about art is that if something happens where I have to redo something, I immediately lose a lot of the joy. Like I just really do not like the process of doing something over again when I've already done it once. Really used to drive me crazy if I ever had like any kind of like save file losses in Photoshop. Like, ugh, that was not a rage quit, but that was a walk away. Maybe grab a meal, go for a walk, come back later. Accept the fact you're gonna have to work late and just clear your head, because to redo something that you've already done, especially when it's something as fluid as art and as creative as that, like there's a lot of happy accidents that happen when I create. Oh, speaking of happy accidents, I just dropped something on the floor. I tried to pick a neutral color for my vinyl tabletop cover, but unfortunately it's very similar to this color of Lego piece. I mean, there's still enough lighting that I'm sure everybody can see them, but very similar. I just dropped something on the floor. I dispute that that's a happy accident. Yeah, it was more about the accident thought than it was a happy one. I think the happy part of it is that it was a brick. It wasn't something small and round that was going to roll forever. I think that was why I was happy about it. Right, see if we can weasel in these last little pieces. of the things I like about knolling is that if you can get yourself to the point where you have like these 2 wide pieces all lined up, I feel like it really ends up looking very nice. Last little bit. We got lots of room. Like I said, that was a small bag. What did I say, 165? Rule out all of the friends sets or being able to find the brains in the bricks heads? Oh, you mean like if the friends sets drop on the floor? I don't find a lot of Lego is really high on my list. A lot of them are play sets, which is fine. I mean, I get it. There's a lot of toys, but they're cool, especially if you were into the show. I could see that being a thing. Because I mean, I was really into the Ninja Turtles cartoon when I was a kid, and I don't know if I still have my Ninja Turtles, but I definitely had a lot of Ninja Turtle toys. 4 of those, 1 of those, and 1 of those. Need 1 of these, 1 of these, and of course, I have to dig in here and find space to get 4 out. What are we looking at? We are over here. We're going 2 there. I love how precise that is. It's very, very flush. Got this little piece happens up here. And then we've got these 2 pieces here. And a little rock piece there. This goes right up against this piece here. Like this goes right up against the brown piece there. This goes across here with one of these round pieces in the middle. These are really tricky to work with. Oh, it's not that. Nice. Oh wow, straight at the door. Up like that. It's been a long time since I've actually put together a Lego door. I remember them. I'm not sure where the door goes. It's just straight out of a cliff. You're coming out this way, then maybe it's a window. Maybe it'll end up being a window. 3 of those. 2 corner pieces. Oh, gonna go inside. So cool, kind of like doing the floor inside. Stone tile floor. This is a neat pattern. I like this a lot. With these 3 little 1x1 plates on an angle. And then we've got these corner pieces around the outside. And it creates like a little mosaic. Neat. These 2 go together. Oh no. No. That part there. You're just thinking about the whole mind your first step? Yeah. You should get a pink table cover no matter what chat says. I thought about getting one of those like drafting mats that have like the grid and the measurements and stuff on them, like cutting mats, but they're really expensive, and the ones that I found were too high contrast. It'd be great for knolling things out because you'd have lines, like you could keep things very straight. These pieces gonna go in here. I really like how they're going about this. It's a really neat setup to see it come together. Like I can see that we're building a hallway connecting what will be the tower and probably the house. This all goes over there. Do you have a place picked out for this when you're finished? Yeah, actually, I have a couple of side tables in my living room. Currently, the Mandalorian Razor Crest is on it, but I'm gonna replace it because this goes much better in that area because I've got a nice lamp on that table. It's underneath one of my art pieces, and so I feel like having this on the table. It's also near a plug, which will be helpful too. One thing I thought of, I have a spare smart plug from Cove, so I might plug this in to the smart plug and be able to turn it on with Alexa. That would be kind of fun. Be like, computer, turn on the lighthouse. I have to call it something else because I find that when you call things like lighthouse or TV lights or whatever, like you have to kind of give it some more specific instructions. I have this real beef with Alexa. I've got it set up so that the wake word is actually computer, just like on Star Trek. And so the idea when I say like computer on screen, it should turn on my Xbox, my TV, and my TV lights. And half the time it works like a top. And then the other half the time it says, I can do that on Xbox or Roku. Which would you like? It's like, well, the whole command is meant to be like a macro command. I don't know why you're asking me what you want me to do it on, because the only command in your system that I made is for turning all of them on. I don't know why it feels the need to get fussy about it. That's right. The combination of this kind of teal color and this moss color is a little weird to me. It's not something that I would be putting together in Minecraft, for example. Just sort of building up the foliage around what will be the building, I guess. Where does that go? Here. And it looks like we've got a piece here. I like that they're adding plates to this, I will say. I would much prefer a combination of plates and studs to just all the studs everywhere. Wants to show personality? I don't think so. Look back through the instructions and realize it's a lightsaber blade that you had left over, not a full axle. Yes, those were will regularly have spare pieces because of lightness and ability to roll away. Ah, okay, cool. You seem really well versed in this stuff, Scotsman. Like, are you really deep into Lego? I feel like the more that you hang out in these streams, the more I learn about the stuff that you do outside of Minecraft. I think I got all that. Yeah. I like how this is flowing down this way. It's very cool. And this looks like it flows down this way. We're gonna go around the corner there. That. And then this turns the corner here. These little brown, gray stone round pieces are, or round pieces that are meant to look like stones, are very effective, I think. This reminds me of texturing in Minecraft, when you're like texturing an area with different things, like when I was texturing the south lawn in West Hill. Go. I had a funny feeling that that's where the axe was going to go. Yeah. Now, these look kind of green in the instructions, but they're beige. That's that part. Yeah, we are cruising through this. Really? An entire page? Just that one piece? Or these? Ah, I thought that's what these were going to be used for. So there's 4 there, and they get stacked up like that. These are really sharp. Like, ow. They'll probably get into a point where it's hard to see the vertical progress, maybe. I feel like I've got to, if I'm off to the side enough, then maybe you get enough of an angle from the camera that you can kind of see that we're getting quite vertical now. I was wondering what was going to go in these little spaces. Always nice to connect the door to the things next to it so it's nice and sturdy. I find they wobble quite easily until you do that. Got a little gray piece. Pretty big fan of Lego, since Scotsman. I have a reasonably large collection and know a good few people in the Lego community in UK. Plus, I've been lucky enough to get a tour of the Lego factory with that Lego community. That's really cool. Helped out over a number of events and shows. That's awesome. Have you ever been involved in any of the Lego Great Ball machines? Those modular builds where they take little plastic balls and move them all over. If I was to do anything kind of technical with Lego, that's probably what I would want to do, is design some cool Lego ball machine. But I feel like it would be hard to find all the pieces that you would want. Once I start picking into the background and the history of things, I kind of go over the top. I can see that. Yeah, I get very into stuff like that. I've been going down this huge rabbit hole of watching the Try channel on YouTube. I really wish there was an easier way on Xbox to go through the archive. I have to like scroll, because I've watched so many of these. I have to scroll for like a minute and a half to get to the videos from 3 years ago that I haven't watched yet. And there's no way to bookmark your place. You can go to your library, your YouTube library, and your previously watched and watch your most recent, but you don't get like it doesn't continue to play from that point. It plays like the next one, but then you don't have like a continual playthrough. But yeah, the Xbox app is not great. So this ladder is going to go in here. I'm really curious to see how we're going to do with the mechanic of rotating the lights, how this piston is going to go vertical. And now we've got this nice and secure. That. And then we've got piece. I got no idea what they're planning here. Whoops. Oh, come on. Here. Good stuff. This is, I want to make sure I'm getting this right. It's very specific stuff. Got 2 and 4 of these. Goes up there. Thank you, Cosmic. We're gonna wrap up the Lego section after I finish this bag. I did mention it earlier for folks that are hanging out in the chat. I'm gonna be doing a double header today, so I'm gonna take a short break, probably a little bit longer than the average 5 minutes, maybe about 10. And I'm gonna recharge, and I'm gonna switch over, and we're gonna switch over to be playing Palia, which is a new cozy MMO from Singularity 6. Cosmic, actually, if you wouldn't mind throwing a link to Palia in chat, so folks that are maybe not aware could check it out. Appreciate it. And so we're going to continue where we left off there. We probably have to level up some skills, talk to some of the folks in town, the NPCs. I would say it's probably like a cross between World of Warcraft and Stardew Valley. I'd say that's probably an accurate description. I really want to know what this is. This is really peculiar. Neat. And it goes on top like that. Well, like, we've made a very specific like setup there, and I'm very curious to see what that's going to be in the end. I like this combination of beige and white, though. It's very attractive. I think I'm gonna like the way that this looks in the end. 1, 2, that, and 1. I do find that these things get twisted, though. The single blocks. Even when you've got plates on top of them, they still tend to be twisty. This little thing sticking out is peculiar as well. Oh, that's incorrect. Yep. As soon as I did it, I was like, that's not right. Oh, interesting. I was not expecting that to happen. That's cool. So creating like the round part at the base of the tower. Oh, I did it again. Rock piece. So I think you can see this. So there's this space right here, and this is like a round shape, and that actually connects here. Very cool. All right, that's for next week, 197. This is more like the normal pieces you've got left over, where I feel like, yeah, I'm confident I got it right. This is where that lightsaber blade thing was, Scotsman, it was in the anchor. So that's why I thought that having a spare one was probably correct. This is very precariously stuck there. Hopefully that stays there. Yeah, I don't want to tip it over because I keep on knocking pieces off, but we did all this stuff around the top of it this week. I keep on doing this. This is infuriating, the fact that this pops off so easily. And I don't know what to do about it. This is really cool. I like the fact that there's this nice big rock piece that hides the battery pack. Just a single connection. Very cool idea. Quite like that. Obviously, this is going to be something that probably goes up into the lighthouse. So we'll see how that goes. Yep. I did not see, actually. Yeah, that's just supposed to be off to the side, so we're probably going to hide this inside here somewhere, somehow, would be my guess. That's more than likely how that's going to go. Looks like there's a nice groove for that to fit in there. Yeah. So as I mentioned, I'm going to end the stream briefly just so I have a different VOD. And then I'm going to start up Palia, which is the cozy MMO that I mentioned. We've played that a couple times this week. Folks that are regulars probably know what I'm talking about. But thanks so much for hanging out, folks. Really appreciate all the support. Thanks for the bits. Thanks for the gift subs. And you can, of course, check me out at joelduggan.com and Joel Duggan on social media. I do 2 podcasts, the Spun Chunks and the Citadel Cafe. Both of them are free and downloadable wherever you get your podcasts. Hold on to your nuggets. We'll be back in about 5 or 10 minutes after I boot up Palia. Bye for now. See you next week if you're just a LEGO fan.